Okay, just confirming. Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, so are you able to see the screen? Hare Krishna. Can you confirm?
Yes, we can see it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we'll begin. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for joining, especially after the Snana Yatra. So let's today we are beginning the 12th chapter. This chapter is titled as the devotional service, Bhakti Yoga. Very important chapter. So we'll begin. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So everybody can repeat after me. I think it is always good that we repeat this mantra. So everybody can unmute and please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tado Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayam Udiraye
Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu
Nashtaprayeshu
abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam
Bhagavata
Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhagavate
Uttama
Uttama
Sloke
Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtigim.
Bhakti
Bhakti
Bhavati
Bhavati
Naisake.
Naistake.
We are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, verse number 1. Please repeat after me. Arjuna Uvaja
Arjuna Uvacha
Evam Sadada Yuktaye
Evam Satatayuktaye
Bhaktastam Paryupasade
Bhakta Swam Paryupasate
Ye Chabi Aksharam Avyaktam
Ye Chapyaksharavyakstam
Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha.
Tesham ke yoga vittamaha.
Arjuna Uvaja
Arjuna Uvacha
Evam Sadada Yuktaye
Evam satata yuktaye
Bhaktastam Paryupasade
Bhakta swam paryupasate
Ye Chabhyaksharam Avyaktam
Ye chapyakshara vyaktam
Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha.
Tesham ke yoga vittamaha.
Arjuna Uvaja
Arjuna Uvacha
Evam Sadada Yuktaye
Evam satata yuktaye
Bhaktastam Paryupasade
Bhakta swam paryupasate
Ye Chabhyaksharam Avyaktam
Ye chapyakshara vyaktam
Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha.
Tesham ke yoga vittamaha.
Please recite, devotees, Prabhujis, Madajis.
Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna
Arjuna.
Uvacha.
Okay, go ahead, Mataji.
No, Prabhuji, we were following you.
You're following you.
Acha. Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna Uvaja.
Evam Shatata Juktaye
Evam Sadada Yuktaye.
Bhaktasvam Paryusvate Pasate
Bhakta Swam
Bhaktasvam
Paryupasade.
Paryupasate.
Echapi Aksaram Abhaktam
Echapyaksharam
Echapyaksharam
avyaktam.
Vyaktam.
Tesam Ke Juga Viddamaho
Tesham ke
Tesham te
yoga
yoga vittama.
vittamaha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvaja.
Evam satata yuktaye.
Evam Sadada Yuktaye.
Bhaktasvam paryupasate.
Bhakta Swam Paryupasade.
Ye chapyaksharam vyaktam.
Echapyaksharam avyaktam.
Tesham te yoga vittamaha.
Tesham ke yoga vittamaha.
Tamaha.
Anybody else? Okay, so we'll go word by word meaning, synonyms. Arjuna Uvaja.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna said,
Arjuna said,
Evam,
Evam,
thus,
thus,
Sadada,
Satata,
always,
always,
Yukta,
Yukta,
engaged,
engage,
Ye,
Ye,
those who,
those who,
Bhaktaha, devotees,
Bhaktaha, devotees,
Tvam, you,
Tvam, you,
Paryupasade,
Paryupasate,
properly worship,
properly worship,
Ye, those who,
Ye, those who,
Cha, also,
Cha, also,
Abhi, again,
Api, yeah, again,
Aksharam, beyond the senses,
Aksharam, beyond the senses,
Avyaktam, the unmanifested,
Avyaktam, the manifested,
the unmanifested,
unmanifested,
Tesham, of them,
Tesha, and of them,
Ke, who,
Ke, who,
Yoga Vittamaha, the most perfect in knowledge of yoga.
Yoga Vittamaha, the most perfect in knowledge of yoga.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Please repeat after me. Arjuna inquired,
Arjuna inquired,
which are considered to be more perfect?
which are considered to be more perfect?
Those who are always properly engaged
Those who are always properly engaged
in your devotional service,
in your devotional service,
or
or
those who worship the impersonal Brahman,
those who worship the impersonal Brahman,
the unmanifested.
the unmanifested.
Purport. Krishna has now explained about the personal, the impersonal, and the universal, and has described all kinds of devotees and yogis. Generally, the transcendentalists can be divided into two classes. One is the impersonalist, and the other is the personalist. The personalist devotee engages himself with all energy in service of the Supreme. The impersonalist also engages himself not directly in the service of Krishna, but in meditation on the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. We find in this chapter that of the different processes for realization of the absolute truth, Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, is the highest. If one at all desires to have the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he must take to devotional service. Those who worship the Supreme Lord directly by devotional service are called personalists. Those who engage themselves in meditation on the impersonal Brahman are called impersonalists. Arjuna is here questioning which position is better. There are different ways to realize the absolute truth, but Krishna indicates in this chapter that Bhakti Yoga, or the devotional service to him, is the highest of all. It is the most direct, and it is the easiest means for association with the Godhead. In the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord explained that a living entity is not the material body, he is spiritual spark, and the absolute truth is the spiritual whole. In the seventh chapter, he spoke of living entity as being part and parcel of the Supreme Whole, and recommended that he transfer his attention fully to the whole. Then again, in the eighth chapter, it was said that anyone who thinks of Krishna at the time of getting to his body is at once transferred to the spiritual sky, the abode of Krishna. And at the end of the sixth chapter, the Lord clearly said that of all yogis, one who always thinks of Krishna within himself is considered the most perfect. So in practically every chapter, the conclusion has been that one should be attached to the personal form of Krishna, for that is the highest spiritual realization. Nevertheless, there are those who are not attached to the personal form of Krishna. They are so firmly detached that even the preparation of commentaries to Bhagavad Gita, they want to distract other people from Krishna and transfer all devotion to the impersonal Brahma Jyotir. They prefer to meditate on the impersonal form of the absolute truth, which is beyond the reach of the senses and is not manifest. And so factually, there are two classes of transcendentalists. Now Arjuna is trying to settle the question of which process is easier and which of the classes is most perfect. In other words, he is clarifying his own position because he is attached to the personal form of Krishna. He is not attached to the impersonal Brahman. He wants to know whether his position is secure. The impersonal manifestation, either in this material world or in the spiritual world of the Supreme Lord, is a problem for meditation. Actually, one cannot perfectly conceive of the impersonal feature of the absolute truth. Therefore, Arjuna wants to say, what is the use of such waste of time? Arjuna experienced in the 11th chapter that to be attached to the personal form of Krishna is best, because he could thus understand all other forms at the same time, and there was no disturbance to his love for Krishna. This important question asked of Krishna by Arjuna will clarify the distinction between the impersonal and the personal conceptions of the absolute truth. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjanasalagaya Chakshurunmulidam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stabidam Yena Bhudale Swayam Rupagada Mahyam Dadati Supadandigam Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Udapadagammalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parijana Sahidam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitam Sri Vishaganidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Padidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau bhunaktum sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinamadidamastu ma vidushavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining. This is a beautiful section, or the last section of Bhakti Yoga in the Bhagavad Gita. So as we all know that the first 6 chapter is, the Karma Yoga and the Dhyana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. Then from the 7th chapter to 12th chapter is Bhakti Yoga, and then the 13th chapter to 18th chapter is called the Jnana Yoga. So these 4 yogas are actually comes in this Bhagavad Gita. So we were going through the Bhakti Yoga section. So it's starting from the 7th chapter, the knowledge of the Absolute. So we learned about the knowledge, and in that first beginning with that, Krishna is telling to Arjuna that Madhaka Pardaram Nanyat Kinjidastadhanachaya. There is no truth beyond me. Krishna is telling to Arjuna that there is no truth beyond me. So like that, Krishna is explaining everything about the Supreme Lord himself to Arjuna. The 8th chapter is known as attaining the Supreme. So how we can attain that Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then again, it's all culminate to come to this one point called Bhakti Yoga. So how we can attain the Supreme by the Bhakti Yoga. How we can understand the Supreme Lord by Bhakti Yoga. And then the most confidential knowledge. Krishna is revealing the most confidential knowledge to Arjuna. Krishna says that Aham sarvasya prabhavo madaka sarvam pravartade. Mayadhyakshena prakriti swiyade sacharacharam. So Krishna is revealing and transferring all this knowledge to Arjuna that about the Supreme Lord and how everything that how it works is all under his superintendence and direction. Everything emanates from him. This confidential knowledge about the Supreme Lord and what one's supposed to do. And one would take shelter of Krishna, how Krishna protects such devotees. Krishna always carry what they have and always provide what they lack. And nobody loses Krishna, one who engages in his devotional service. Then we come to the 10th chapter, is known as the most confidential knowledge, or the opulence of the Absolute. Krishna is revealing his opulences, his, one of the, 6th, characteristics of the Supreme Lord in full is one is called opulences, or that we call it as Bhag. That's why we call him Bhagavan. So Krishna is revealing all his opulences to Arjuna. Then we saw in the last chapter, this called as the universal form of the Lord, the Vibhuti Yoga, that's the 10th chapter. Then the Vishwarup. So that's a universal form, that's 11th chapter. In that 11th chapter, Arjuna wanted to know how Krishna is, Krishna revealed lots of knowledge, lots of information about himself and this material nature. And how Lord actually enters into each and everything that Krishna is mentioned about in the 11th chapter. So we saw that Krishna is pervaded in each and every aspect in this spiritual and material world. Each and every element, each and every atom, Krishna exists. So we went through in great detail. So then we come to this 12th chapter. So here in the first, this verse itself, Arjuna is asking the question after seeing this, his universal form. So now Arjuna understood that Krishna has many forms. One is universal form, another is the impersonal form. And Arjuna understood also that Krishna has a personal form. Because of in the 9th chapter, Krishna reveals that to Arjuna, in the 11th verse, that it says that Avajana Adima Muda Manushim Tanumasradam Param Avajanadi mamoda manushim tanumasnam parambhavam ajanando mamabhuta maheshwaram. Fools derides me when I appear in my personal form. Krishna is telling to Arjuna, fools derides me. They do not know me that I am the Lord of all, Parambhavam. This is my supreme nature. This is my supreme nature. Parambhavam, Ajanando, Mama Bhuta Maheshwara. I am the Lord of all that exist, all that be. So here, Krishna is revealing that, his personal form to Arjuna. And Krishna is telling to Arjuna that after seeing the universal form, that Arjuna was requesting to Krishna that please show me your two-hand original form. And Krishna very graciously showing Arjuna that the beautiful Shyamasundara form, beautiful Shyamasundara form. And then Krishna revealed to Arjuna that only those who are my pure devotees can see this my personal Shyamasundara form. Now Arjuna got this doubt. So Arjuna is asking, Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect? Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship impersonal Brahman or unmanifested? So now Arjuna, naturally, this question comes to his mind. How should I worship you, Lord? How should I see you? How should I worship you? So that which is more perfect? Whether it is worshipping your universal or impersonal aspect of your Lord, or your personal aspect of that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engage in the loving devotional service unto you, which is more perfect. So we will see today about these distinctions and how one can, how we can distinguish between this personal and impersonal, and the direct worship and indirect worship. So first of all, let's get into this point. So Krishna, and even Sanskrit in the scriptures and all this, our great scriptures reveals this, and especially Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Purana, which is the essence of Veda, which reveals that Vadanti tat tat vidat tattvam yad jnanam avyayam brahmedi paramatmedi bhagavan iti shabde. That means the absolute truth can be perceived in three aspects. So it says that the absolute truth, or the Supreme Lord, the absolute truth can be perceived in three aspects. That's why Vadanti Tattvam, this absolute truth. Tattvam means the absolute principle. Vadanti tat 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 yat tattvam. And it says that Vadanti tat tat yat tattva yajnanam avyayam brahmedi paramatmedi bhagavan iti shabdaye. The absolute truth can be known or perceived in three aspects. That is, one is called brahmedi. That means Brahman means his impersonal aspect. Brahman means he is pervaded in all material and spiritual realm, and he is Vibhu. He is pervaded. He exists in everything. So we know that how he exists in everything. In the material cosmic creation, he is Mahavishnu. The material cosmic creation in each universe, he is Garbhodaksha Vishnu. The material cosmic creations, each and every atom, he is known as Kshirodaksha Vishnu. And he also seated in everyone's heart is called Paramatma, and likes that. So he is also pervaded in everything. Everything. That's called Brahman, or called impersonal aspect. That means there is no personal form. That's why in this material world, in mundane world, people start to say that he is Nirakar, he is Nirguna, he is Nirvikara. It says that he is Nirvikara. He does not have any sentiments or senses. He does not have any qualities. He does not have any, that's why Nirguna. He does not have any form. That's called Nirakar. So there are certain sect of people they call Nirakaras. So what they do, they just meditate upon this impersonally. They say that the light, everything is, this is called, this is the Brahman, this is the Supreme Lord. Basically, our scriptures explains that this is the Brahman aspect is nothing but just the Lord's effulgences from the personal body, personal spiritual form of the Lord. And the purport of one of the Bhagavad Gita purport, Srila Prabhupada also mentioned that the light which we perceive is nothing but the effulgence of the Supreme Lord. The potency of the Lord, the effulgence of the Supreme Lord, that's what is we are seeing this light in this world. So here Krishna is perceived or understood or known in three aspects. That's the Brahman aspects. That's why this is called pervaded in everything, so that there are they says that there is no form, there is no akar, niragar, so they call it as nirakar. There is no form for the Lord. And Brahmedi and Paramatmedi, and they also says that the Lord is Paramatma. So Lord can be also perceived or understand or known as he is seated in everyone's heart. Yes, that's true. So who actually come to that realization or come to that conclusion? The yogis. So when the yogis meditate upon the Supreme Lord, the yogi meditate on the Lord in their heart, in the four-handed Vishnu form. The yogi meditates and they see that the Lord is in the four-handed Vishnu form, and when they mature, when they perfect in their yoga or Ashtanga yoga, when they perfect in their Ashtanga yoga, that means they are connecting, everything they are uniting, that the Lord is seated in their heart. So ultimately they realize that the four-handed Vishnu form in their heart, and they see that's Lord, there is nothing beyond. On the Jnanavadis, those who are the impersonalists, they meditate upon this Brahman. So then finally what they do, they finally merge. They are also transcendentalists. Srila Prabhupada mentioned the purport that they are also transcendentalists. They merge into the effulgence of the Lord. They cannot really enter into the abode of the Lord, but they enter into the effulgence of the Lord, which is in the peripheral of this abode of the Supreme Lord, or we can say that the peripheral of the Vaikuntha planets. And Brahmedi Paramatmedi, then Bhagavan iti Shabdaye, this is what is the ultimate of the culmination or the conclusion of the Krishna revealing here in this chapter, Bhakti Yoga, that one should worship the Supreme Lord in his personal form, or known as Bhagavan. Bhagavan means one who has all six opulences. This is Sri Parashara Muni is defining who is the Lord, who is Bhagavan. One who possesses all all opulences is called Bhagavan. So he is a impersonalist. If he is just a Brahman, then none of this is applicable to the Supreme Lord. But all our scriptures are revealing that he is the Supreme Person. He is a Bhagavan. Bhagavan Uvacha. And Srila Vyasadeva starting Srimad Bhagavatam is with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Bhagavan Uvacha. All these great sages, great personalities, all addressing the Supreme Lord as a person. And that is true. And it's a very simple logic. If everything is impersonal, nothing won't be personal, because of everything is impersonal. Right? Everything is impersonal. So, but when there is a person, that everything become, that we can see the personal form, that in this world that we can see it because of its personal. So Srila Prabhupada says that life comes from the life. The monkey comes from the monkey, the human comes from the human, the life comes from the life, the bird comes from the bird's egg, the lion comes from the lion's egg. But it's all that exists in various forms. So it's all exists in the personal form. That's why we all have the personal form. So Lord has innumerable forms. The Supreme Lord has innumerable forms, and that manifests in various places, and all this come from the various different forms that we can see in this material world. So that's called Bhagavan. And Arjuna, and this not only that, Arjuna is also addressing into the 10th chapter, we could see that Arjuna also addressed Krishna as Param Brahman. So anything which goes beyond Brahman is known as Param Brahman. Brahman may be pervaded into the all cosmic creations, but beyond that there is called Param. Param means supreme, the supreme Brahman. Who is that supreme Brahman? That supreme Brahman is a person. That's what is exactly this last chapter. Krishna wanted to reveal this to Arjuna. Krishna was revealing everything that within him in the universal form. Then Krishna then also uh, bring down to his four-handed Vishnu form. Then also Krishna also showed his two-handed form, that is his original form, to Arjuna. So this two-handed original form is his original form, Shyama Sundara form. So he has an abode, he is a person. And there are so many instances that Krishna is revealing to his devotees his original form. Not only to Arjuna. In even now, Lord reveals himself to his devotees. So the impersonalist and the personalist. So impersonal aspect and the personal aspect. So we should be very clearly, thoroughly understand this. So the devotional service which Krishna is revealing in this chapter is to address to his personal form. So we should always worship the Supreme Lord in his personal form. That is the perfection of every transcendentalist. Yes, we can say like this, a yogi, he may start his spiritual journey like that. He may realize his, this Paramatma in his form. Also the Brahman, the impersonalist may, worship in that impersonal aspect, but then it's actually limited. And then it is limited to that point where it cannot enter into the spiritual abode or, the personal aspect of the Lord or personal association of the Lord. So they cannot have the personal association of the Lord. So they just up to that the effulgence of the Lord. So but one who worship the Supreme Lord as a person, and Lord reciprocate accordingly. So in this case, for an impersonal, he worship in such a way that, okay, I am Nirakar, Nirvikar, Nirguna, Nirguna Brahman, Sagara Brahman, Nirguna Brahman. There are so many technical terms out there in order to, people just, and their own mental speculation, they worship the Lord. And they, put a lot of names like this. But in reality, in actual sense, the original facts that all our scriptures revealing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he is a person. He is Shyama Sundar. He is Shyama Sundar. He is always like a youth, ever youth, a Shyama Sundar, that Kaishora, Kishore or Kaishora form. And he has flute in his hand. He has beautiful eyes, his lotus eyes, beautiful curly hair. It's all spiritual. And beautiful hands and chest, and Vaijayanti Mala, and there is Kaustubha and Srivalsa, and beautiful decorated earrings, beautiful lotus eyes, beautiful nose, beautiful face, lotus face, and he cannot even imagine the beauty of the Supreme Lord. Beauty of the Supreme Lord cannot be compared with anything in this world, because of it cannot even come near to that. And there are so many wonderful devotees described, especially Jayadeva Goswami. Jayadeva Goswami is the Gita Govinda. I mean, unbelievable that Jayadeva Goswami, how beautiful, how nicely glorify the Krishna's beauty. We cannot even compare anything even in this world. Even not even an earrings can be compared in the beauty of earrings. And because of the earrings is beautiful because of Krishna beauty. It reflects the Krishna's beauty in the earrings of the Supreme Lord. And that cannot even compare in this material world with anything. And why? Because of Krishna is a person and he is completely spiritual. And Krishna has 64 qualities. I mean, I don't, there is time we can discuss all night about the glory and the beauty of Krishna. There are so many, so many. Alola Chandragalasad Vanamalya Vamshi. He has for his garland Vanamalya Vamshi. Alola Chandragalasad. He has a moon typed ring. Alola. Always in the association of the devotees. Alola Chandragalasad Vanamalya Vamshi Teknangadam Pranaya Keli Kalavilasam. Is always association in the pastimes with his friends. Pranaya Keli Kalavilasam. Shyamam, he is a beautiful darkish blue. Shyamam Tribhanga Lilidam, he bends three places. Tribhanga Lilidam, he is so simple and beautiful. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pradibha Vibhavi Tabriya Eva Nijarupadaya Kalabhi Goloka Eva Nivasadi Aglatma Bhudo. He resides in his Golok Vrindavan. It's full of his garden. It's Golok Vrindavan. It's the lotus and Vrindha, the Tulasi, and the full of gardens and various types of the the flowers and the trees and its colors in such a way that depends on what color they wear and depends on that it changes the color. And in this Golok Vrindavan, everything is full of conscious because of its absolute is completely spiritual. Dear devotees, there is no words. There are so many wonderful devotees glorify the Supreme Lord. And this is the personal form of the Lord. And he is a person. And he ever exists. Advaidam Achyudam Anadim Ananda Rupam. He is Advaita. He is that cannot be separated from himself. He is complete. Achyudam, he is infallible. Anadim, he is everlasting. Adhyam, he is original. Puranam, he is the historical. There is, we cannot even count that. Purusham, he is a person. Adhyam Purana Purusham. That's why he is known as Purusha. He is Purusha Uttama, Purushottaman. His name is Purushottaman. He is Adi Keshava, he is Purusha. Adhyam Purana Purusham Nava Yauvanam Cha. Nava Yauvanam. That's as mentioned that he is Nava. Nava means ever youthful. Nava Yauvanam, ever youthful. Nava Yauvanam Cha. And Krishna's beauty is ever increasing. Ever increasing. And then we cannot stop that, yes, today is this way and beauty reduces on the next moment. No, it's ever increasing that beauty. You can imagine that. Adhyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Cha. And Vedeshu Durlabham. And we cannot see and understand this Veda. Veda only 5% is Upasana Kanda. Everything else is Karma Kanda, basically. So we don't get these informations. Only by the fortunate devotees, fortunate souls can understand and hear the personal form of the Lord. That's why also that in order to perceive the personal aspect of the Lord, it needed the mercy is needed. Only by the devotees and the Lord's mercy that one can enter into the pastimes and perceive the personal aspect of the Lord. Only such devotees can worship the Supreme Lord, the personal form of the Lord. Only such devotees can interact with the Supreme Lord. Only such devotees, that one who worship the Supreme Lord in his personal form, can enter in his pastimes of the Lord. So I was mentioning about the Jayadeva Goswami. The Lord was personally coming and to interact with the Jayadeva Goswami. One time Jayadeva Goswami, the Gita Govinda, decided to translate everything into a cloth. So Jaydev Goswami decided and brought all this, those who are stitching, and brought all these people, and Jaydev Goswami was, reciting this Gita Govinda, and they were stitching on the cloth. Because of it's a long process, and Jaydev Goswami got into a sleep, and everybody was, stitching. All on a sudden, he fall into sleep. But all on a sudden, a boy came over there, and they also didn't want to disturb Jaydev Goswami. Only Jaydev Goswami knew that the Gita Govinda. And then all on a sudden a boy came and started to recite the Gita Govinda. And they started and they completed. And then Jaydev Goswami woke up and then understood what was happened. And except Jaydev Goswami, nobody else knew the Gita Govind. And Jaydev Goswami was going through what is stitched. And exactly the Gita Govinda. And the Jaydev Goswami asked, who came? Said there is a boy, he said he's from the nearby village, and he knew this Gita Govinda, so don't disturb Jaydev Goswami. So he started to recite, and we took this and stitched on the cloth. And Jaydev Goswami understood this is none other than the Supreme Lord. And another instances, Jaydev Goswami was writing Gita Govinda. On one instance, one stanza, Jaydev Goswami written that the Srimati Radharani take the lotus feet of the Krishna. Pada Pallava Yugam. It says that Pada Pallava Yugam, there is a stance, there is a verse that Jaydev Goswami written in such a way that Krishna takes the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. And then realize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Lord of all the Lords. How is it possible that Krishna takes the feet of another? Krishna is how come down to take a feet of another person. It's not possible, and this is my mistake. And Jaydev Goswami cut down that one and then went for taking bath. It's a lunchtime. And all of a sudden, after Jaydev Goswami left, Jaydev Goswami came back and told to Padmavati, his wife, consort, that I just came back, I forgot something, and directly went inside the room, in the chamber, in the room, like it's a small house. And Jaydev Goswami completed that and again put that, Pada Pallava Yugam, that which is completed there. And then this time Jaydev Goswami had a wonderful feast, and Padmavati was very lovingly serving. And then Jaydev Goswami left again. This is the time original Jaydev Goswami came back to Padmavati. And then this time Padmavati said, well, you just went now, and then you came back now. And then this time Jaydev Goswami said that I'm so hungry, please serve me. It's a lunchtime. And Padmavati said, you already ate, and you came back without taking bath. You came back, you went there, you wrote something, and then you came here and you ate nicely, and then you left. Now again what is going on? So then Padmavati explained everything. Jaydev Goswami understood. There are so many instances, dear devotees, that Krishna personally interact with his devotees. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ye edamam prabadhyande tam stadaiva bhajamyaham mama vartamanu vartande manushya partha sarvachaka. I reward them accordingly how they approach me. Everybody follows my path. So this is the aspect, this is the importance that we always remember, that only fortunate devotees, by the mercy of the devotee, mercy of the Lord, one can perceive and understand the personal aspect of the Lord. So that's why we have wonderful devotees, that Krishna sends his devotees to this world to propagate, to reveal this transcendental, this confidential subject matter. Prahlad Maharaj revealed that. Sravana Kirtana Vishnu Smarana Pada Sevana Archana Vandana Dasya Sakya Atma Nivedana. One should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by hearing his glories, chanting his glories, offering obeisance unto him, offering articles to him, and remember the Supreme Lord. Sravana Kirtana Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam. That's why we have such a wonderful process revealed by the Acharyas, and we follow that. Lord incarnate in this world in his Archa Vigraha form. And this Archa Vigraha form is none another than his personal aspect, personal form. So one who worship and understand his personal form, and one can easily attain him, and that's what is in Srila says, as it says in Bhagavad Gita, every chapter culminates with this aspect of that worship his personal form, worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Fifth chapter, Krishna reveals that Bhoktara Megya Tapasam, the last verse of the fifth chapter. Bhoktara Megya Tapasam, Sarvaloka Mahesharam Sukurdam Sarvabhutanam Nyatva Mam Shanti Mrachati. One who knows me that I am the Lord of all that this world, I am the benefactor of all the living entities. I am the well-wisher of all the living entities. And one who knows this, and they will in the relief from the pangs of these material sufferings. Krishna says that in the fifth chapter. Sixth chapter reveals that. Is Krishna says that Yoginam abhi sarveshu mad gadenderatmana saddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo madaha. The yogi, one who abides me in their heart with the worship, with the full of devotion. I never lost to such devotees. And he is a perfect yogi. That's my opinion. Krishna is revealing this to, Arjuna. So in every aspect in the Bhagavad Gita, each chapter Krishna reveals that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna says in the 7th chapter also that Naham prakasya sarvasya yoga maya samavrada modo bhija na bhijanadi loko mam ajam avyayam. I never manifest to the unintelligent and foolish. See, this is the aspect which by the mercy of the Lord, by the mercy of the devotees can only understand Krishna, or to the personal aspect of Krishna. Naham prakasya sarvasya, I never manifest to the unintelligent and foolish. Naham prakasya sarvasya yoga maya samavrada, for them I am covered by with internal potency. So these are the wonderful aspects of Krishna, dear devotees. Krishna never revealed himself in such a way that to the unintelligent and foolish. He covers with his internal potency. And covered by my internal potency, so that they do not know me that I am the Lord of all that material and spiritual world. And many, many places Krishna says this to the, Bhakta mam na bhaktya mam abhijanati. Another places Krishna says that. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only by the loving devotional service one who has, then only they can understand me, reveal them. Anasakyasya vishaya nidarham ubhetna. It says that at the Sri Krishna namadi na bhaved na indriya sevan mukhohi jikhvadu swayameva sviradiyata. So one who has this mercy of the Lord and the devotees, and one who engages in his devotional service, dear devotees, and this the culmination of this chapter is Krishna mentioning that, who is very dear to him, and who is very, very dear to him. And Krishna finally reveals that who is very, very, very dear to him. And Krishna says like this, one who has unconditional love and the faith and the loving devotional service unto me, that I am the goal of his life. And he is friendly to everyone. And I am very, very dear to such devotees. So we can see that in this world there are so many devotees, dear devotees. Madhavendra Puri, Krishna was revealing himself to Madhavendra Puri. He is stealing the chore, the kheer chore, Gopinath. We know that Tota Gopinath, kheer chore Gopinath in Ramuna, in the border of Orissa and Bengal. Krishna is personally stealing the kheer for his devotees. Krishna is personally revealing that I am, hid here under the bush. Please take me out. There is a Gopalji or Srinathji. Now we worship in Vrindavan. And I have, by the mercy of the Lord, I have Srinathji at my home. And this is, Krishna is revealing himself to his dear devotee, Madhavendra Puri. And there are so many instances like that. Krishna personally come to his rescue for his devotees. Villamangala Thakur, Krishna was directly coming to Krishna. Raghunath Das Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. We know that even, see, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. We know that the temple of Radha Raman temple in Vrindavan. Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami was worshipping the Shalagram Shila. So devotees comes, they offer the articles every day. One day, Gopala Bhatta Goswami was praying to the Supreme, the Shalagram Shila. If you have a form that I could put all these wonderful ornaments, jewels, and a dress for you, next day morning, he just woke up. All his Shalagram Shila completely transforms to the beautiful deity of the Lord, that is Radha Ramanji in Vrindavan. So, dear devotees, there are so many wonderful devotee pastimes and the glories of Krishna, how the Lord reciprocated his devotees. So, this is the personal aspects. And in this entire chapter, Krishna is revealing that how one can attain Krishna in his personal form. That's exactly Srila Prabhupada revealing to us. That's what exactly our Acharyas revealing to us. And most importantly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed this, the most confidential subjects, most confidential knowledge of the Prema Pumarto Mahan, the love of the Godhead. That is the Panchama Purushartha. Nobody else revealed this, the loving devotional service unto the Supreme, because of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because of the mercy of the exalted devotees and acharyas, that we are understanding this. Otherwise, we won't even come near to this understanding. So Krishna is there in his personal form in order to receive service from each and every devotee. This is the highest form of service. This is the highest form of realization. This is the highest form that one can attain, that the same in an association with his personal form. That's what is exactly the 64 qualities out of his Leela Madhuri. His Leela Madhuri is so great, so wonderful. Krishna's Leela Madhuri, or the pastimes, is one of his quality. Krishna reveals himself with his devotees in order to reciprocate with him. He enters into with his, he enters with his devotees. He associates with his devotees in order to relish the reciprocation love between the devotee and Krishna, and the Krishna and devotees. Krishna seated in every devotee's heart. Krishna says that I am not seated in Vaikunta. I am seated in the devotee's heart. It's beautiful, dear devotees, about understanding this personal aspect. So I think it's getting time a little over. So let me stop here. And always remember this. The beautiful Shyama Sundara, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, is right there. And only by the mercy of the Lord we can understand him, we can engage in his service. So always remember, we are so fortunate. So by the mercy of the Lord, we have at least a temple. We have beautiful Radha Shyam Sundar, and many of your home that there is a beautiful deity of the Lord, Radha Madhav, Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Govind Ji, Radha Gopal Ji, Jagannath Ji. It's beautiful. This is the perfection. So dear devotees, always remember this, by the mercy, that Krishna's mercy, that we have this opportunity, and always remember this, and please continue this beautiful understanding and realization that Krishna is there in his spiritual and personal form, always there with his devotees. So thank you so much for joining, and let me stop here, and if there are any comments, concerns, questions, let's discuss. Let's have some discussions. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Jai. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam, all good.
Krishna, Dandavat pranam. All good, Srila Prabhupada. How are you?
Yeah, nice, Prabhuji. Nice. Very nice, Prabhuji. Very nice. Prabhuji, you have the Srinath ji at your home, right? Is it like a replica of Srinath ji?
Yes.
Okay. Nice, Prabhuji. Nice.
It came from Nardwar, and one of the family over here brought from India. And then one day he called me, and I got it. It's quite beautiful.
Nice, Prabhuji. Yeah. Also, I remember, I think your father or grandfather got Krishna in a well, right?
No, that's in my in my village. Yes, exactly. The not my grandfather. I mean, nearby, in our village, there was this teacher. He was teaching in the school, and he was a very Krishna Bhakta, very devoted Krishna Bhakta. A very the first of the month he he used to go to Guruvayur temple. There, with such difficulties, without any failure, every first of the month he goes there and take darshan of the Lord. He was a very, very great Krishna devotee. He became old now, he's sick and he cannot, go further. He was praying every day that, how is it possible that, oh Krishna, I am missing you. I'm feeling of separations and I'm missing you. And he was always having this feeling. So then one day Krishna came to his dream that I am here, underneath of a well here at that close to a temple nearby. Please take me out from there and then you worship. And then he got this dream not only once, then also he got second time, and then he mentioned that, Lord revealed that where he is actually lying down underneath. So then he revealed this to the temple authorities. It was nearby a temple well. He went there and told them, and then, with much difficulties, they agreed to dig. When they dig first time, didn't come up, they didn't see anything, but then they dig further, second time, and then they found that, the beautiful deity of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So they excavated from there, and then, they started to worship. See that. So many wonderful pastimes. I mean, Jagannath Puri, every day there are pastimes happening in this Jagannath Puri. There is a devotee called Raghunath Das. Raghunath Das. No, Raghudas. Yeah, Raghudas. Raghudas, when goes there, he's a very dear devotee of Lord Ram and Lakshmana and Mother Sita. When he goes there, Jagannath, he could see that Lord Ram and Lakshmana and Sita there in the altar. And Lord personally go with him, personally associate with this Raghudas in Jagannath Puri, and personally instruct to take care of his devotees. One day Raghunath made a beautiful garland. So he brought this garland to Jagannath Puri and then gave it to Pandas. And they saw that this garland is made by this, banana, what is called, with banana ropes, right? That's not allowed that time. So this Raghunath became so disappointed, and he was feeling so much of pain and crying, and he was not sleeping because of his feeling that he made such a love, such a beautiful garland, and why Lord rejected this? Why Lord rejected this? So he couldn't sleep, and Jagannath even couldn't sleep. So when in the night time, what happens? The Pandas will decorate the Lord Jagannath with beautiful, beautiful flowers. So then Pujari was decorating. None of the flowers were actually sticking to Jagannath. Everything is falling down. Whoever is putting, nothing is actually sticking on Lord Jagannath. And then they all came together and discussing what happened to Jagannath, what happened. And they came to know that somebody must have done some offense to a devotee. So then they thought Lord will reveal, and then they all just slept like that. And after an half an hour, Lord revealed in the dream that, go there and receive the garland which made by the Rigudas. He made in such a way that with love, with such a devotion and love for me, and then you rejected that. But I don't look at what kind of rope used for it, what kind of thread used for it, but I all look for that, my devotees' love, how they approach, how they serve me. So they understood, and Lord was revealing the name of this devotee, Degudas. So on the night itself, they went there and begged for their forgiveness, and then finally they brought that garland and put on Lord's. So this is the way Lord reciprocate to his devotees. So it's beautiful and everywhere. And if you look at Udupi temple, just for his devotees, Lord turned himself. Initially, the Udupi temple deity was installed towards the east direction. But in order to see his deity, his devotee, and the people around that they made offense against this Kanaka, what is that? It says one devotee is called Raj, something like that. And Lord turned himself. So many places, Lord himself comes down and take such a menial service, such a menial service. And even Raghunath became very old, this Raghudas. He couldn't do anything. Lord was personally coming and picking the sticks and the mud and all in his body and helping this Raghudas. And Raghudas understood that this is Lord. And Raghunath said, oh Lord, why are you doing this when you can easily, just by the glance, that everything can be, all can be, eradicated, all this distress. So Lord was saying that, yes, I know that, but also at the same time, I want you to finish all your prarabdha karma so that you can completely come out free from all the prarabdha karma and come with me. And in Tukaram Maharaj's case, Lord was personally coming to receive to his dear devotee of Tukaram to back to his abode. So how many examples out there, devotees? And we know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered into the deity of Tota Gopinath, just entered. And Sri Mirabai entered the deity of Dwarakadesh, the same deity of the Srinathji, Dwarakadesh. So like that, Nityananda Prabhu entered in the deity of Vengimurai, another Krishna deity. So many wonderful devotees like this. They all enters into the eternal Leela of the Lord. So dear devotees, this is very, very, what is called, wonderful that it goes beyond our material or mental speculations or mental, or bodily grows and subtle realm, but it goes beyond to that spiritual realm. That everything happens. And one who reaches to that spiritual realm with that purity, they speak to the Lord, they reciprocate with the Lord, they interact with the Lord, they see the Lord, they see the beauty of the Lord, they see everything. That's what is all these exalted devotees who are experiencing. One day, Rupa Goswami was writing underneath a tree and is scorching heat. Srimati Radharani came and covered with Radharani's veil on top of Sri Rupa Goswami, and another instance also Raghunath Das Goswami as well. Sanatana Goswami saw this from the far, Radharani personally coming and putting her veil on top of Sri Rupa Goswami's head. And Sanatana Goswami was chastising Sri Rupa Goswami, why are you giving trouble to Srimati Radharani like this? So there are so many instances out there, dear devotees. Even now, there are many places, even temples, the deity have reciprocated with his devotees. Not so far. I gave one example of in Barshana, one devotee, Krishna and Srimati Radharani personally came to take that devotee around 70 years ago, something like
Yeah.
so many. Sorry.
Nice. Very nice.
All we need to do is understand this and engage into the loving devotional service to the Supreme with our sincere heart. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank
Anything?
you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you for bringing up that. So nice.
Thank you.
Anything else? Dear devotees, any questions? And Sankarshan Prabhu, you are trying to say something?
Sorry, Prabhuji, no. My apologies. I'm in the temple. I'm in the service, Prabhuji.
Oh, you are in this. It's okay. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai. Anything else? Anybody else? Any other questions or comments or concerns? Anything you would like to add in your personal life? That's something that which Krishna is reciprocating. Everybody can unmute, dear devotees. At least you can say something. Otherwise, I would think that my what it was didn't hear or something was wrong, something like that. Yes, Sandeep Prabhu wanted to say something.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you for giving us time, and it was a good lesson to be done. I recently joined and really enjoying. I want to say gratitude and thank you so much. One question, Prabhuji.
Sure.
What is the advice you can give for new people like me to join with Krishna and get some conscious focus on meditation and all that? What is the right path to go and right way to get more focus?
So I didn't quite clear understand your question, Prabhuji. Can you repeat? I could understand a little bit that what is the right path or focus on what is I mean in this
Focus
journey.
on meditation, like joining Krishna consciousness, right? Like to understand the Gita, the what Krishna is trying to give the message, right? Just I'm on chapter 3 right now,
Oh, you are reading
and
the chapter 3, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. You are reading chapter 3. You are need to this understanding and how should I should focus on or what
correct,
is the right approach? What is the right way to progress in Krishna consciousness? Right?
correct. Yeah,
Wonderful. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for that sincere the heart that that itself is very good. That Shraddha, the faith itself is very good to progress in Krishna. So as a beginner, as a joiner, yes, there are certain instructions. Even if you goes through the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the instructions Srila Prabhupada also gives through various purports. So now I would suggest is while reading that also have this strong faith in Krishna as we are explained today, or you can see that through the Bhagavad Gita, it will transform you. I mean, this is another example I can give. This Bhagavad Gita itself, transformed me in such a way that it was wonderful. So all what we need is actually have that faith in Krishna, the Supreme Lord, and faith in his devotees. Two things we need: faith, because of when you have that faith in faith in Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's translation and the purport, and understand that, and the Srila Prabhupada gives us some instructions also to follow, so that when we have that faith in the Supreme Lord and also follow the instructions of the Srila Prabhupada and devotees, so that it's progress further. So my recommendation in order to even quickly achieve that Krishna prema or the success and the loving devotion to the Krishna is that, I would recommend that you started to chant the holy name. Did you? Are you chanting the holy name, Sandeep?
Yes, not like the whole Malaya, but I chant the name. Yes, I definitely do that in the morning, afternoon, evening, when I have time. I do that. Definitely do that.
Wonderful. Very nice. Please do that. Chant the holy name very sincerely and very attentively, first thing, and that's very important. And then when you chant the holy name, you try to hear the holy name and chant the holy name properly, and also at the same time meditate upon the Supreme Lord Krishna. Okay, so meditate upon the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, his personal form. He has a beautiful Shamasundara form, basically the Radha and Krishna, the beautiful Shamasundara form. And also important to progress that how this the faith in the Supreme Lord. Read the Bhagavad Gita every day, that if you can, or associate with the devotees like this in the evening, that we comes together. And also always see that if you have any kinds of like a bad association, or just come out of all this, because it's all waste of time. For second thing is actually any kinds of bad things, gradually you come out of it and understand that this is my life. I am the eternal associate of the Lord. I am part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. I am not the proprietor. He is even proprietor for me, because of my soul. He's also his. I am not separate from him, and this is my opportunity as a human, that I can progress and realize this, and I can attain the Supreme Lord. So the most important thing is that the strong conviction and the strong faith in the Supreme Lord, and then chant the holy name and hear, like this, and read and hear and all those things. So mainly focus on Krishna, focus on the Supreme Lord and his devotees. So very important. And basically the first and foremost thing is actually, I would suggest that always try to seek the association of devotees. Like we have a program in the temple. Yesterday was Snana Yatra. Don't miss that kind of. And here we have Bhagavad Gita class and the morning Bhagavad. Whatever capacity you have now, don't miss that. So focus on.
Yeah. I was there yesterday. It was very
Yes,
nice. Very, very nice. I enjoyed
exactly.
it a lot.
Yes, exactly. Like so, the Rath Yatra is coming on July
Yeah.
1st and July 2nd, Atlantic City Rath Yatra. So many devotees, and hear the glories and the kirtan and wonderful, wonderful prasadam and all those things. So all these come from our strong faith and strong conviction that I should progress. That, and we seek the mercy of devotees. So always see that, always try to associate such devotees, and by the mercy of devotees, we get Krishna, and by the mercy of Krishna, we get a devotee and guru. So this is the way it goes. So have this conviction that, and also at the same time, engage in this devotion. Yes, if you are home, if you are getting up in the morning and see that, you can worship the Lordships. I think all of us have some way or other form of worship. See that, you can worship the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and or his various forms, like Gauranitai is there, right? And Jagannath ji is there, and Lord is there, and whatever you are doing right now, and worship that, and try to be more and more purified in our life, that avoid unwanted things and all those things, and always that I am the eternal part of that Supreme. I am eternal part of Krishna. Always remember this, that Krishna is my eternal part. and I am his eternal part. I'm here in this world for temporarily as a human. For how long, how many years I'll be here in this world, but my eternal Father, I'm eternally with him. So in this human life that I need to attain Krishna. So let me and pray to him as well, that every day pray to him, please engage me in your service and his devotee service, and always try to be humble. And in such a stage we all can become humble, and so that we don't come up with that ego of that, okay, oh, I know now, once I read Bhagavad Gita, oh, I know Bhagavad Gita now I started to challenge, and that this, okay, I can, it's all naturally comes, and then start to make the offenses against the devotees, and then what happens, then we kind of come up with that ego, then this all spoils. So be that, in such a way that, yes, our goal is that it's devotees' goal. Our goal is that to serve devotees and Krishna, nothing else. Not to show off myself, not to become, okay, I got no initiation, I got a nice this one, I am sure I can show that, I can command to everyone, I can do this, I can do this, I am that, I am seen. No, this nothing is all between devotees and Krishna. So always have this consciousness that Supreme Lord, please engage me in your service. And if you have this, pray always, oh Lord, please never be there is a time that I cannot attend or I cannot serve you. Always pray this in your heart, in your mind, that please, oh Lord, that's all I need. Please engage me in your service. Please engage me in your service with all my full heart, with my full conscience. And if you have this one, Lord will definitely reciprocate. And I can give one example in Guruvayur temple. One devotee, I'm not, because of the time, I'm not elaborating it. One devotee, since his childhood, he was there in Guruvayur. He was in a restaurant. He was working there as a small child since his childhood. But later, he didn't have any interest initially. But later, somehow, the mercy of the devotees, he had an opportunity to go inside the temple. So when he went inside the temple, he saw the lordships in such a way that he completely attached to Krishna, completely attracted to Krishna. Every day he's going and praying to the Lord. Oh Lord, please, there should not be never a time that, I cannot see you. I cannot see you. You know what happened finally? And then one day, and he became old. He was there. He became old and very old, and he couldn't do anything. But he has this pray. So then he went there, and then in front of the Lord, he just completely looked at the Lord, and then he, left his body. So he was seeing the Lord, and his prayer was that, oh Lord, please, there should not be any moment of that time that I cannot see you. And Lord made that, fulfill that promise. So if you have a sincere heart, dear devotees, especially sincere heart for the devotion, that's the first qualification we should have. Sincerity and purity. Sincere heart for the Lordships. No matter what happens in this world, so many things will happen, but we have the faith in the Lord. Lord will definitely, take care of such devotees. And of course, everything happens according to the will of the Lord. So there is nothing that which we hold ourselves. Oh, I can do this, I can. No. If we take shelter of Krishna, everything is Krishna. So we should have that. And Krishna would definitely, definitely with such devotees, and he would reciprocate and he would interact with such devotees. And Krishna will make sure that this devotee comes to me. That's Krishna's promise. Krishna, if we take one step, Krishna takes 100 steps. All we need is actually that love for him, attachment for him, anuraga for him, prema for him, sadhana for him. Everything for him, because of he is everything for us. What else is there that we can say he is everything? Nothing. So we should have that consciousness all the time and have that faith in him that he is there. He is there in each and every moment with his devotees. That's Krishna's promise. He is there in each and every moment with his devotees. But we are far away from him. He is very nearby, but we are far away from him because of our material attachment. Yeah. So please try please try that and pray to Him that every day. And only everything happens only by His mercy, only by Kripa, that we are not that capable enough. We are Kripa Siddhas. We need mercy. So we should be always, seek mercy from devotees and Krishna. Always should seek mercy from devotees and Krishna. If you have this one, definitely Krishna would definitely shower His mercy and we will progress.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. A very good advice. I'm going to follow it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing up that such sincere, heart. Definitely, since such heart is very important, that how can I progress in Krishna consciousness? That should be our mood every moment. Yes, we are not up to there or we are not up preaching. We are still, how can I make progress in Krishna? Should always remember that. How can I make progress? Jai. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anything else? Anybody else would like to add any comments? Anything else would like to add? Okay, so then we'll conclude. It's already 32. Okay, so let's conclude today's session. Thank you so much for joining today. Let's pray together. Vancha kalpatarupasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patidanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Vaishnavanda ki jai.
Jai.
Gandhara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The
Jai.
Lord Vaishnavanda ki Gaura Premanande ki
Hari Hari.
jai. Thank you, dear devotee.
Thank you.
Thank you.